Hey guys, this is Luis Moreno with Think Medicare, Think ACA. Today I've got Jordyne from HealthSherpa. Jordyne, thank you for being on my video today.
Hey, Luis, thanks for having me.
Well, here's what we're going to bring to you guys. We're going to talk about renewals. Okay. I know we're kind of towards the end of OEP, and that's okay, but handling renewals. Now we're going to break this video series on renewals into two videos. The first one is actively renewing somebody, and then the second one is passively renewing somebody. So we'll talk about what those are first, and then we'll get into Health Sherpa and how it's handling the active and the passive. So, Jordyne, let's start off with what is the difference between an active renewal versus a passive renewal?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, an active renewal is when the agent or a consumer actively goes in, makes any updates to the application, and then resubmits the policy, even if it's the same policy for the following plan year. So, hence the active. A passive renewal is when the plan automatically renews, and that is what CMS calls a passive renewal. So, when we're talking about active and passive, our team always recommends actively renewing your clients in order to make sure if there were any changes throughout the year that those can be updated on the application. You can ensure that the plan is still the best fit for their needs. Of course, if there are any changes in network or if there's a change in premium, you'll be able to review that with the client. And the passive renewal is really a great fallback for, say, for example, you don't get through all of your clients or you haven't been able to contact all of them, but active is what we always recommend starting with.
And I agree with you. And I'm going to share with you guys an example. And I did this yesterday. I had a client enrolled with carrier ABC. They renewed, they were paying 100 something bucks a month. The guy called me, he's like, Luis, my payment went up to 400. I'm like, oh, we didn't. He passively renewed. And what happened was last year, his income was not enough to get any subsidies for 2025. I'm like, okay. So we went in there, we actively renewed it. Now, I will throw this out there. When you're actively renewing somebody, guys, you cannot forget about the CMS requirements that we agents must follow. Number one, you've got to get consent before you do the search. So talk to my client. Hey, I'm going to send you an email, open up that document, review it, and sign it. I got my signed consent back from him. Perfect. I searched him back up. We adjusted his income for 2025, and magically, instead of paying he was at 129 or 120 something, he went up to 400. I got him down to 79. Guy was happy. The only thing he wasn't happy about, that he wasn't too happy about, Jordan, was I couldn't do anything for his January bill, but because we're past the deadline, I was able to help him for his February going forward. So I'm in 100% agreement with Jordan. You have to actively renew as many as you can. Even if the circumstances have stayed the same, maybe their income, their household, everything is the same, still actively renewing it. Guys, what I have noticed by doing that is sometimes I get more subsidies. Guys, I've got a community of ACA and Medicare agents that we're putting together. 25 years in business is what I'm going to be sharing with you. Guys, come join us at the community, a community of ACA and Medicare agents, and we'll show you how to grow. Okay. I get lower premiums than what they got when they were passively renewed and they got that letter from the carrier. So again, always try to pass or actively renew as many as you can. So Jordan, let's take a look at Health Sherpa and see what they've got on the active renewal side of things.
Sure. Let's jump over to our staging environment, which is our test environment. We're always looking to build out additional features. For renewals, we know that as your book grows, this can become more challenging year over year to manage these active renewals. I think, Luis, you would agree that, doing these active renewals really helps keep members on your books because you keep them engaged and you're checking in with them and you're making sure that they have the right plan for their needs. So again, we always try to encourage that, and we're always trying to stay ahead of whatever we can do to help you with active renewals. So some of these tools may be familiar to you all, but we'll cover all of the different tools we have for active renewals. So the first one being is the renewal email. So we're looking at this from the lens of an agent. So whether it's right now or leading up to open enrollment, you'll see this renewal email button appear here. It's only here during the time of year where you can do renewals, and you can select all of your clients. You can do all of them. You could just pick a couple here. And then when you click this button, you'll see a pop-up here, which of course the one I chose didn't work.
This video is being sponsored by Agent CRM. Agent CRM is a CRM that I use for my agency for every line of business: auto, home, life, commercial, Medicare, and ACA. It should be the CRM that you use too. Click up here to get some more information.
And the pop-up will show you you've selected how many clients, how many of them are eligible to renew. We show you a message preview. I'll also call out that we do a great job of highlighting FAQs throughout the product. So if you're uncertain how a feature works, click on that and you'll be brought over to our FAQ page. You can update the subject line. You can update the email. Luis, I know you have a really great CRM with a lot of options that agents can send out automated reminders to their clients. So you've got some customization in this email on whether or not you want to allow your clients to renew themselves. So if this button is checked, they can say, I want to renew my plan now. Well, if you would prefer for your client to schedule a meeting with you so that you can review any of those changes, you can unselect this button and maybe just change this text up here to say, schedule a meeting with me and we'll review any changes you have for the upcoming year.
And you can modify what's in that box there, right?
Yep, you
Okay,
can.
so maybe you want to go on their agents, you want to put, look, here's my number, give me a call. Or maybe you put a link to a calendar or the calendar feature in your CRM for them to book an appointment for them to talk to you. So
Yep.
very interesting. Now, Jordan, my agent, something clicked on my head. Hey, if I let them automatically renew with that renew online button, am I still the agent of record and will I still get paid?
Yeah, that's a great question. So if you are currently the agent of record on that policy, you will continue to be the agent of record on that policy. We do automatically attach the agent's NPN to any application that originates from their account that is completed through HealthSherpa. So yes, they would still be paid on that application.
Perfect. So why wouldn't you want to include it in there? Let them do the automatic renewal. Now, walk me through this, Jordan. Let's say somebody, is that a button that pops up in the email that they can click on?
It is a button. They can click renew now. It'll bring them through the consumer EDE application. So it's very similar to if you're familiar with the marketing link in HealthSherpa, they would walk through the application. We have it set up so the renewal flow is a little bit easier for them to just update any sections that have changed. And then from the agent's eyes, they would be able to check their reporting to see, okay, who do I show a 2025 policy for? And that's a great way to ensure that everybody is actively renewed.
Okay. Now, here's another question that let's assume that in the county where this person is renewing and there is 10 available carriers, but I only have 8. Are they going to have the option to see that one that I don't have?
They're not. We are required to display all plans. And so you have two options there. You can opt into our enrollee assistance program. And so that's essentially our reworked referral program where you could refer that client off. Or if you don't want to have them potentially enroll, and I call that out specifically knowing that there have been some regulatory changes this year, state by state. If you don't want to allow them to do that, it might be a good reason not to include the renew online button and just say, hey, give me a call. Or you might want to just put some text in the email that says, if you have any questions, if you need to change your plan, please give me a call.
Okay, got it. Interesting. Yeah, I think it'd be better. Like, look, if you're going to renew with the same carrier, then use this link. If you happen to change carriers, don't do it. Call me. I'll help you and walk you through it.
Yeah, and even when you're not talking about it in terms of an appointment with the carrier, I think it makes sense to spend time with that client, making sure that their providers and their prescriptions are still in network and understanding that it's still a good fit for them and it's not just based off of premium.
And I didn't even think about that because they're going to base it off premium. They really don't know that by switching to a different carrier, that now it's a whole new network and a whole new formulary for the prescriptions.
Or
Now,
metal. Yeah.
Yeah, or metal levels. Now, I pretty much on all the metal levels, if they stay within the carrier, everything kind of remains the same. But if they end up changing carriers, it's a whole new ball game, guys. Okay, they're starting from scratch, and I'm going to bet money that probably they are not going to check the doctors and the meds. They're going to make that switch solely on premium. So something to think about. Very interesting. Cool. Okay, so they got this email option. I like this. Now, it is up at the very top. It is screening out for those that have already renewed.
Correct. Already renewed, or if you don't have an email address on file for that consumer, you won't be able to send them an email.
Okay, got it. Perfect. Perfect. Well, there's no reason not to use this, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a really great way to get ahead of it early on in open enrollment, or if you're just now trying to catch up with everything before the 15th, check that out. The next way that you can actively renew a client would be using the search marketplace button up here. So let's say one of your clients does schedule a meeting with you and you know that you have to process their active renewal. Well, we can look them up here. And again, if I have consent for this client from the previous year and it has not been rescinded, I can search the marketplace for them. If I have not worked with them in the past, I cannot do this without getting consent. We'll search the marketplace.
If they are new, well, we're talking about renewals, so they're already your clients. But remember, guys, if you don't have consent for them from a previous year, just collect a new one. It's not that hard. Now, if they use your consent, the one that's here from HealthSherpa, is this is sending them a consent, or is this just downloading a PDF that they can fill out?
So within the platform, you can send them a new consent and a new review form for the upcoming renewal. It's not sending them anything at this stage.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
So for this example here, the 3 test examples I typically use on our staging environment aren't appearing, but what you can expect on this page is you would enter in the name of your client, click search the marketplace, and then you'll have a box appear at the bottom where it tells you any applications on the marketplace that are active for that consumer. And then you'll see the button. Typically the buttons are like add to my clients, or you can see a renew for 2025. And that's what you would click on, and it will bring you into the application renewal for plan year 2025. And as you've mentioned, Luis, if you process that now, between now and January 15th, they will have a February 1st effective date.
Correct. So make sure at this point, if you don't have the consent, get it. Use whatever you're using to collect them. But then when you start the actual app and you're renewing it, you can get the consent there and send it to them through HealthSherpa.
Yep, of course. Yeah, so this page here is a verbal consent that you are searching their information. And then when you are submitting the subsidy application, that's where you'll get the documented consent from within the platform, which you can email or text to them.
Now, she mentioned verbal, guys. Verbal doesn't mean squat unless the conversation is being recorded. So how do you prove it? She told me that's not going to work. You're going to make sure that the conversation is being recorded so you have access to that verbal consent.
Absolutely. So this is the second pathway. We're going to go back into the platform here.
You want to know everything about ACA or Medicare? Click up here to get my ACA and Medicare Smart Books.
And then from the Clients tab, if we go into one of our clients, let's see if I can find an example here. So from the client detail page here, you can see that we've got a renew plan button up top. If we click on that, this will bring us into the renewal pathway. So the way that that will work is it's a simplified application where you'll only need to update particular sections that have changed. And the purpose of that is to help save you time. So this is also considered an active renewal. Once you've completed that active renewal, you will be able to see their plan year 25 information on this page.
With this button that you click on here, is that the same pathway if you scroll down on your screen, hit that renew button at the bottom?
Yep, that is correct. We put it in a few places on the screen.
Okay, so it's the same button. So I think what happens here, you hit the renew, you hit a continue, and then it takes you to the quote screen. Is that correct? Yeah, you start my renewal, and then you're now at the quote screen where you can, usually that will be pre-filled with their data, you confirm it. And then what I do like is it's going to find the plan that they're already on that
That's
is
correct.
renewing to.
Yep.
It'll say I think it's got like a little badge somewhere. It says current plan.
That's correct. There's a blue banner. It says current plan, and then you have the option to compare if you want to look at other carriers, or you have the ability to just proceed with their current plan.
Correct. And then you add to the cart, and then you're off to the races to actively renew it.
Yep, that's correct. So those are the ways to process that active renewals.
Okay, so we got, just to recap here, guys, 3 ways to actively renew your client. Number 1, why am I having a memory problem? What's number 1, Jordan? I'm getting old.
The bulk renewal email. No, it's open enrollment.
That's right. The bulk email renewal is number 1. In fact, I'm going to write that down. So we have the bulk email renewal. And then the second one is going to be which one, Jordan?
The search marketplace link.
Okay.
And the next will be from the client detail page.
All right. Beautiful. All right, guys. That's your preferred way of renewing your book of business utilizing HealthSherpa. Jordan, thank you for your time. Guys, stay tuned. We'll be posting a video here shortly on this same channel, Think Medicare, Think ACA, about how to handle the passive renewals. Because you won't see them, guys. All you're going to see is the previous year. You're not going to see their new one and what they did without you doing a little bit of work. And that's what, stay tuned. I'll have that video for you. Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you.